we kind of want to start out with, oops, let me do this here. We kind of want to starting out with, I guess we'll do some, well, actually, Scott, I don't know if there's some new people on there that you can locate, because I'm not that smart to do it on here.
Yeah, I'm good.
If there's any new people.
Yeah, I believe there's some new people, and let's see. What we do for new people, we all kind of know each other in this group, but for new people who join, or if this is like your second time joining, or you haven't been on in a while, we'd like you to introduce yourself. Just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at right now, and what brought you to real estate, and where you're at in your real estate journey, and where you'd like to be. So if anybody'd like to start out, go ahead. And if somebody's shy, I might call you out. You may have been on these before, but I see who's on here. So go ahead. Anybody who wants to introduce themselves, that'd be.
I'll go ahead. My name, I'm Jeff Wester. I'm a wealth management advisor. I work at a firm with 5 of my close friends and colleagues. We opened up in 2019, Dash Capital Advisors. I own a home that I bought in 2018 in Brighton, and was just, I'm just very interested in real estate. Obviously, I have clients that are always looking to learn more. So my friend Brandon Clark on here told me about this call. So thank you guys for having me.
Welcome.
Cheers.
I guess I'll go ahead since Jeff so nicely introduced me. I've been involved with this group probably 5-6 years ago. In my previous life, when I worked for a paint company, I networked with a lot of you folks. So I moved into another career, commercial construction, for about 5 years. Always been interested to get into real estate. For me, probably more of an investment vehicle, I guess. So Jeff thankfully joined me in kind of learning more about real estate, how to get involved, how to find deals, financing, and everything else like that. So.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So it's been a little while since I've been on, but I'll go ahead and jump in. I haven't been around for a couple of years now. My name is Eric McQuistion with G&M Properties. I'm a real estate broker specializing in investment properties as well as a property management company. We manage about 400 plus single family homes, almost strictly in the suburbs or in areas of the city where we can, drive, rents pretty well. We, as a company, buy, sell, manage, invest is kind of our mantra. We take care of it all. We handle rehabs. We do all that stuff. And yeah, a lot of value. Been busy over the last couple of years, but I always got a lot of value out of all of the groups and being involved with FFREIA before, and I'm glad to be back.
I guess I'll introduce myself. My name is Joe Scarice. I'm a direct private lender with Lending One, owned and operated by Blackstone Capital. So we're direct private lenders. We're licensed in all 50 states. My area is the Northeast region, which covers the New York State area as well. We do stated debt service coverage ratio loans for non-owner occupied investment properties, fix and flip, fix and hold 30-year fixed money, up to 80% loan to value on cash out, portfolio loans, new construction, multifamily 30-year fixed on purchase and refinance, or multifamily bridge. We could also look at blanket loans as well. And I'll be venturing up to the Rochester market very soon to attend one of your REIA events in the springtime. Thank you, and I'm complete.
Awesome. Welcome.
And my information is in the chat box.
Hi, my name is Renata. I just joined the group, and I own a construction company back in London. I own few property. My strategy is buy and hold. I study real estate development course in Manhattan. I just arrived actually, so I would like to learn about the market and get to know you.
Awesome. Welcome.
Thank
Great
you.
to have you.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Johnson, and I stop in from time to time to get all the knowledge of all the great speakers that are usually on. I'm just ready to jump in now. I've been procrastinating for a couple of years, and I'm just looking to jump in and maybe do my first deal in 3-month goal. That's my goal, 3 months.
Great.
Thank
It's
you.
only 12 Saturdays, you know. Well, welcome. Anyone else? Anyone else? I don't know, Scott, is there anyone else that you see or?
Let's say, Shannon. Either you're muted, Shannon, we can't hear you. No, still can't hear you. I think he's trying to talk.
You got Charles also.
Yep.
And a phone number.
Okay. Andy, do you know why we can't hear Shannon?
Everything checks out on our end. It's some sort of issue with her mic. It could be muted on her computer outside of Zoom. So she might be unmuted in Zoom, but if her computer mic is disconnected or unmuted, or muted, I mean, she wouldn't be able to talk.
Okay. All right. Shannon, we'll let you work on that and see. And then we'll go to Charles. Charles, I think you're new to the group, right?
He's also unmuted, but not saying anything. So I don't know.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we
Yep.
can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
Go ahead.
I was running the same issue and it was connected to my Bluetooth, which may be their issue too. So hello, we are Raphael and Mickey, and we are very, 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 very new to the game. Just kind of bought a course on learning the different strategies for to get into real estate, and we haven't really found a niche just yet. But we were wanting to meet some local investors and realtors and just kind of start putting a team together, I suppose.
That's great. Picked the perfect place.
Yeah. Excellent. Welcome, you guys.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Catherine.
Okay, hi. My name is Catherine Tuttle. I've joined a few meetings here and there. I'm an investor. I have several properties in the Park Avenue area of Rochester, as well as the village of Fairport. I love both areas. I'm looking to expand and pick up maybe 1 or 2 more properties this year. I started the business with my ex-husband 30 years ago. We started buying properties in the Park Avenue area, and I've loved it, and he didn't. Yeah, I'm looking to expand and pick up a couple more properties and maybe find some good carpenters and other sorts of partners, facilities, people that could help me out here and there. But right now it's just myself. But I'm enjoying it. If you guys have any leads on any properties that are coming available in Park Ave area or Fairport Village, let me know.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks for joining. I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Okay. Let's see. We're gonna, I think, Janine or Janine, Jannene. You new to the group? She's muted, no video, or that person's muted and no video.
She's been on before.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Shannon, any luck being able to talk with us?
Looks like Shannon and Charles are both struggling to get their systems up and running this morning.
Okay. All right. What we'll do is Shannon and Charles, if you guys are able to talk, let us know, and we'll let you introduce yourselves then. That's good with everybody.
Can also put information down in the chat box and I can read it.
Okay, cool. All right.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Stacy. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Good. I guess I'll just introduce myself since we're
Yep.
going around. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, so I pop in from time to time. I've been a member on and off. I live in Maryland, for you guys that don't know. But I have a portfolio of properties there in Rochester. Rochester's my hometown. I'm there probably on average once a month. So I like to kind of stay current on what's going on in the market up there. And yeah, so I do rentals, I do some private lending, and my goal this year is to dive into notes. So if anyone's interested in doing truly passive income, I'm interested in doing some joint venture on note deals. So I'm teamed up with a great organization with a lot of inventory. And yeah, so that's kind of my thing. So glad to always pop in and learn lots of stuff and keep current on events there in Rochester. And it's always good to see you
We're glad
guys.
to have you. Glad to have you back. Joe McGuire is probably, in my opinion, one of the very good note people on this call.
Stacy, I thank you, Scott. And Stacy got my attention. And I was wondering if we have the same organizations, but yeah, we definitely need to talk later.
Yeah, Joe, I think I've seen you at some of the events there, and we are definitely affiliated with some of the same organizations. So yeah, let's chat.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to it. Yeah, I remember you, and I hear of you all the time from your good friend with the big house up by the lake. Yeah. Who is also here but not saying anything, I see today.
Is he?
Yeah, he's down there.
Can't see him. Okay.
Whenever you talk, Joe, I think it's a privilege, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got on the call a little bit late because my computer was acting up. It decided that it wanted to reboot right when I was trying to get on for the meeting. So that meant I got on very late. But yeah, everything is going great. Great to hear you, Stacy, again, and great to see you on the call. Most of the time you have your picture up and we can't really see that smiling face. So great to see you.
I could be a little shy sometimes, Leon.
That's not the Stacy I remember. Okay. Back over to Joe and Mr. Spear.
Go ahead, Joe, take it away.
We'd like to do haves and wants here right now. So this is a chance for if you're looking to buy or if you have something you want to sell, put it out to the group. Let us know what you're looking for. Because instead of having you yourself do it by yourself, you've got a whole team of people here who will run across stuff. And this is the great thing about this group. You know, check out there. People will actually call, hey, listen, I know you're looking for this property. Give me a call, or, you know, you can put your information up on the chat box. So anyone has anything to looking to sell or buy, put it out there for everybody, please. Let us know.
I'll go. So my husband and I are still kind of new in the game as well. We currently have, we actually just sold our rental in Pennsylvania. It closed last week. All done with that one. So yeah, we have one rental here in Rochester and our own home, but we are looking for either duplexes or single family homes for fix and flip or for long-term holds. So anything you guys have, we're pretty open to the area, anywhere in Monroe County. Obviously, some of the places are a little scarier side of the city. So those ones I'm not quite ready to take on yet, but some of the other areas in Monroe County, I'd be more than happy to take something off your hands if you have it.
I will jump in too. So as a company, so we do a lot of buying for our investors. I've got tons of investors, lots of cash, all of that stuff. So they're buying across, and what I will manage for my investors is a little bit different than what I will hold myself. For certain reasons I can explain, a whole nother time. However, for my investors, I'm across the board. I try to stay single family, almost exclusively on that anymore. We deal with a lot in the suburbs, White Coat, South Wedge, South 19th, outskirts of the city, edging up on the suburbs. However, I am getting ready to go into a buy and click right now, and starting up another division of the company where I would entertain just about anything that anybody has, whether it's in the city, anywhere. And we're looking at building a portfolio pretty quickly through there. Again, well-funded, have a lot of money, and ready to go. So if you've got anything, I can entertain just about any of it. And I've got either myself or my investors would be willing to go on it. And again, right now we're a little over 400 single-family homes under management right now.
By the way, I put my number on, my information on the chat box for you. Give me a call when you get a chance. I may have something for you.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anybody else?
I'll go, Joe. My name's Gabriel, and I'm from Rochester, New York, and everyone that knows me knows what I'm looking for today. And I'll say it again and again. Storage, any size, any color, any shape, anywhere in the United States, by the way. No deal's too big, no deal's too small. If the numbers work, the numbers work in any fashion or form. So if anyone knows of any owners or anyone that says, I want to dump my storage units, please feel free to get a hold of me, and we'll talk. Thank you.
Gabriel, if I can ask, are you strictly looking for already in place storage, or are you looking for buildings that can be converted fairly easily as well?
Right now, I'm looking at facilities that are in place. I'm not really into the conversion yet. I haven't explored that avenue yet, so I'm sort of new to this game, but I'm gaining a skill set. So as time goes on, I hope to learn that kind of process. But right now, I'm just looking at as is facility.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. I'm not looking for property, but I am looking for a flooring installer. I've got about 60 apartment units that need LVP, luxury vinyl plank, but it needs to be, some of it's going to be over concrete. There's some remediation that needs to be done for moisture and other stuff. It is a more technical install than probably 95% of the installers putting LVP down can handle. So I'm just looking for some help locating a few people who are not booked out until May. We're going to start doing flooring and tear outs and installs in about 2 weeks. And I've got enough to keep somebody busy for about 6 months. So if you know of anybody, send them my way. It's for Country Manor Apartments in Webster. I'm good friends with the owner, and I'm handling most of his purchasing, procurement, and all that good stuff because that's what I do. So that's about it.
Okay.
All right, I'll go because I know Joe likes to go last. I'm looking for self-storage and across the country. If it looks to be in good shape or run down, doesn't matter. Snap a picture of it, send it to me. I do pay referral fees too. And just right now, I'm in Arizona. We live in an RV full time, came from Rochester. And now we're traveling around the country. I have storage facilities in a few different states. And I also have up in New York too. So if anybody has anything, let me know. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Thanks.
Anyone else? I'm looking for, I do commercial residential properties, city suburbs, also looking at storage facilities. And we'll look at some type of industrial, depending on where it is and what the situation is, what the usage is with it right now. Pretty much if the numbers work, we're in. That's pretty much about it. Cover the whole gamut. Everybody else all set with what they want and looking for?
Yeah, Brandon here. New to it, so I guess maybe I totally don't know what I would like to get into quite yet. I do have learned a lot more about commercial real estate in the last 5 years. So certainly commercial, also residential. I don't think I'd have the time to do fix and flips, or I'd have to partner with somebody that probably would know that better than I do. I do know some contractors and things, but pretty busy with what I have going on. So I would say either, teaming up with somebody that's much more versed in this than I, sort of as an investor, or maybe just somebody that's more experienced and can kind of show me the ropes. So I guess looking to learn more about what maybe, good strategies are and what to get involved with, duplexes, multi-units, apartment buildings, if those opportunities come up, single family, pretty much open to anything.
Great. And by the way, people, don't be afraid to put in your contact information. That way people can actually touch base, network here, which is the most valuable part of this whole group. Not just the knowledge, but you put that in with the networking, because you want people to be able to get a hold of you. Okay.
I did see that Raphael and Mickey put a message in the chat box. Can you see the messages in there now? Mickey?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Perfect. What we'd like to do is, I know I get a chance to talk with Scott about this. Want to be able to do some breakout rooms. And it does a couple things for us. Number one, we'll be able to personally connect with people a little bit better. We'll probably do somewhere around I don't know if we do 12 minutes or something like that, give everybody enough time to talk. I don't know, give people two to three.
How many people do you want in the room, Joe?
We've got what? Want to do 4? Can we do 4?
That's fine.
We'll do 4, give everybody like 3 minutes, and basically, introduce yourself. More importantly is we are already into February. We're less than 8 weeks away from the first quarter of this year ending. Like 8 Saturdays away, 8.5, whatever the heck it is. There's an extra weekend here and there, whatever. But, let people know what you've done so far for the beginning of the year and where you expect to be by the end of March. And then, and then afterwards, if we want to expand on that, we can definitely do that. But more importantly is I want people to be able to see what everybody else is doing and also to be able to connect, and you could start out by alphabetical order, figure, whatever letter of the first name is goes first. If your name is Adam, you're going first. Just take 2 to 3 minutes. And then what we'll do is, and by the way, we're going to be taken into a whole other room and we'll automatically be brought back. Okay. And then afterwards we'll expand from there. And then if there's people with questions or things you want to go over, again, we keep this open forum. We want to make sure to be able to handle and take care of people as far as for the questions. Okay.
Joe, you said 12 minutes?
Yeah, we'll do 12 minutes, gives people, up to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Which is going to fly right by.
Oh, there was Charles. He did show up for a second. Got his camera on. All right. Well, I guess we really don't want 30 minutes, do we?
can see how intent you are, Joe.
Yeah, yeah, you're in trouble. It,
Can you do it or
oh, yeah.
Yes, Scott, I will check.
Okay.
I just remember there's something about.
Hey, Catherine, how you doing?
Are you talking to me?
Yep, we're talking with you too.
Okay. Well, how are you?
All right. All right. Good.
So it looks like we got a bunch of rooms with, wow, it's pretty random, 4s and 5s and 3s. So, oh, that's weird. All right, well, I can figure this one out. Hold, please. Room 2. There. All right, I was not listening. I'm actually in the process of doing something on the website for FFREIA. So what are we supposed to talk about, Scott? What was the topic?
I think we're supposed to introduce each other to ourselves, what we're looking for, I think.
Hi.
You and I know each other pretty well. Catherine, we'd definitely like to hear more from you and what you have going on. We know you're new to the group, but I guess Andy, maybe just introduce yourself and what you do, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we'll just let Catherine talk and answer her questions.
Sure. I'm Andy McQuaid. I'm a full-time consultant, have been since 2019. Prior to that, spent 11 years at 84 Lumber in management and sales. Was a district manager for Home Depot for 11 years, had 18 stores. During that time, I built the largest property management client portfolio in the United States. Worked with pretty much every large commercial property manager in Rochester during that time period. Yeah, that's about it. That's where I cut my teeth in property management. And now I don't sell products. I just help people find and buy products and use products that save them money over time. If they're a buy and hold investor or a build and hold investor, because there's too much new construction that gets done where they use the cheapest possible products and the cheapest possible labor, and they're gutting and rehabbing units after 5 to 7 years because they use trash. And there's a lot of existing properties that are still distressed in the market, and nationwide, and they keep having problems and paying through the nose on maintenance fees and service fees and all the other stuff because they're using junk. Instead of paying a little bit more now and having it last for 10 years, they're paying less and having it last for 3. So long term, it's bad money. So that's what I do. I help them fix all that crap and save them a bunch and put a whole lot more cash flow to the bottom line. So that's about it.
Cool. And I myself, Catherine, like I said a little bit in the other room, I born and raised in Rochester, and got into real estate seriously about 2000. This was about 2007. Yeah, 2007, right when the meltdown was happening and all the houses were in foreclosures and stuff. Bought some short sales, rentals, did some flips, did a couple wholesales, did a little bit of money lending, retired from a corporate job about 2013, 2014. And then November, and kept building a portfolio, started selling it off around 2018, 2019, then November 2020. My wife and I sold our house, 90% of our contents, and moved into an RV full time. We've been traveling ever since. So, and right now I'm mainly focused on self-storage. So I no longer have any rentals or not doing any flips, just self-storage seems to work with what we're doing. So that's a little bit about us. Tell us about yourself, Catherine, and what we can help you with.
That's so cool. You guys are living out of an RV and just traveling the country.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's a dream come true.
Yeah. It's so
Amazing.
close. There's the bathroom back there. I'm in the kitchen right now, in the dining room now. There's the kitchen and there's the living room. That's about it.
That's awesome. Wow. Very
Yeah,
cool.
thanks.
So about me, I mean, I kind of alluded to the fact that I've been in real estate investing for a couple decades. And we sold a bunch of properties in the early 2000s. And in the last couple of years, I've been buying some back up. Actually, I bought our very first house back 2 years ago on Portsmouth Terrace. So that was very cool. I buy them, I fix them up if they need work. Not afraid to get a team of contractors in there and renovate. And I pretty much renovate to the hilt. Put in all new cabinets. The top of the, not the top of the line, the middle road, but nice cabinets with granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. So all the apartments are nice because I intend to keep them and rent them out. That's worked well for me. I enjoy being a landlord. I've got excellent tenants. I've got 41 units right now and looking to expand. I might be doing a 1031 like exchange soon. So I'm looking to get at least 1 or 2 more properties. But in the last 4 or 5 years, I've bought 1 or 2 every year, and that's worked really well. I like to go slowly so that I get a quality property and make it look nice for new tenants. And yeah, the village of Fairport has been awesome. There aren't that many houses there. They're all, the biggest house you'll get is a duplex. A 3-family is extremely rare. Park Ave has been a lot easier to get a number of units under one roof. So that's usually my number one target area, but those houses are out of control with the pricing and the bidding wars and all that. But still, I mean, sometimes you get lucky and you can find one. So that's kind of what I've been up to, and it's working well for me.
Nice. Do you just do residential, like the families rentals, or do you do any student housing or Airbnb or anything like that, or no?
Yeah, I have, well, in Park Ave, there aren't any families with children because the schools are bad.
Right.
So it's all recent college graduates, and professionals. I do have a house on Gibbs Street with mostly studios, and it's right next to it's the closest house to the Eastman School of Music. So that one is 100% students, and that's been amazing. Those kids are awesome. Amazing tenants. So yeah, everyone's already graduated from college and they're in the working world. So they're all working professionals with excellent credit. So that's worked out really well to, I screen the hell out of the people before they move in to make sure that they have excellent credit. I call sometimes I call their manager to get a reference. I call their personal references. I require close to a 700 credit score. So that's worked well for me. It's harder to find people, but in that area, I mean, pretty much everyone has very, very good credentials.
Yeah, no, I know it's a smaller pool with a 700 plus credit score, but I think you're smart in doing that. Like Andy said, it's, a lot of prep up front saves a lot of heartache down the road. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and I didn't get bit with any issues with the with I call it the Cuomo anti-landlord laws.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get bit with any of that, luckily. Like I said, I've got very good tenants, so I've been very fortunate.
Good. Excellent. And I know the Eastman School of Music, those are a different kind of student, that's for sure. You know, they're
Yeah,
all there for a
amazing.
reason. They aren't going. It's just, you know, like some college kids are just going to college because they think it's the right thing to do. But Eastman School of Music's definitely a different class of student, I think.
Yeah, one time I called a tenant to ask a question and he said, I can't talk right now. I'm on stage waiting to go up at Juilliard or at the, no, not at the, oh God, what's the stage in New York City called?
Broadway.
Well, not Broadway though, close, the smaller one. I can't remember, but he said, we're about to go up, whatever the stage, and I can't remember
Mhm.
it, but you hear it on the commercials and in movies and stuff. Yeah, so those kids they're top notch. When you think of it, the Eastman School of Music is the second best music school in the country next to the Juilliard School. So
Wow. Okay.
those kids are serious. They're very talented.
Nice. Yeah, I can believe that. So, you born and raised in Rochester?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I live in Pittsburgh.
All right. Very nice. But yeah, no, you're in the right group. And I've been with FFREIA since they started. I believe Andy has been too. And it's really helped both our real estate careers. I wouldn't be where I'm at without FFREIA, that's for sure. And we really like the alternatives. Go ahead.
I've actually been in the group for a couple of years. I haven't attended that many meetings, a few here and there. But when it works out and I have time, I like to jump in. And this morning I didn't have that much going on, so I thought I would jump in.
Great. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Half the reason to be here is for the networking and the sharing of ideas and stuff. So it's tough when you're not, here, but we do have all the meetings up and you can rewatch them if you choose to up on the website. You just got to log in and just pop past the paywall. It's under resources. All the past meeting recordings are the very first box under resources. So you can see all the general meetings that have been recorded and all of this type of meeting has been recorded. I think Pat Gallagher's morning meeting is the only one that's not up there right now, just because it's in person only at the restaurant over on Buffalo Road. And we don't have any infrastructure there to do a blended Zoom meeting to record anything. So, but the meeting.
Speaking of Buffalo Road, do you think they would ever have any meetings on the east side?
They have in the past. The problem is mostly just venues that are affordable. So the east side meetings have always been traditional.
Are we all back? Can anybody hear us?
Everybody's muted, so you just got to unmute yourself. But I
Yeah,
think
we can
almost
hear you.
everybody's back in.
Perfect. We all back? Is Scott back? Everyone around here? Hopefully everyone had a really good meeting. We definitely like people to be able to connect.
What
And
is
get,
it? ESS and oops.
oh, sorry. First of all, does anyone have anything that they want to expand on from what they were talking about? I don't know, or if anyone has any comments.
There's just two things real quick. One, Llewellyn says her unmute is not working. Her unmute is working. She's unmuted, but something's wrong with her microphone on whatever device she's using. So the microphone itself is either turned off or muted, or it's connected to a Bluetooth or something, because she's unmuted in Zoom, which means that it's a hardware issue. And that's all I got. So sorry.
If it was me, I'd use a hammer on that microphone, but that's me. What works for me may not work for you and vice versa. Remember that. So hopefully what we just did gave some people some good insights, and especially in what they either need to be doing or what they should be doing. Anybody want to just, put out there or even go over some of the stuff that they went over? And don't be shy. We're here to help each other.
Yeah, I would like to actually ask questions that I did ask the group, and they suggested bringing it here. So I just arrived from London, as I said, and interest rates in London are so low that if you buy and hold, you get the difference. So you get an extra income from the difference between the interest rates and the rent itself. As I'm now in New York City and in Manhattan, there's so much tax to pay, and interest rates are so high. I wonder, so is there any, is it everywhere like that, or does it make sense to buy and hold in that case? Do you get an extra income left over, because the interest rates are high, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, yeah. So do you guys get, does it make sense to buy and hold strategy? Is there any leftovers?
If I can just say real quick, I know some of my investors, it all depends on your goals at the end of the day. Because I've got some of my investors, and it depends, that are investing very similar to that. And yes, you're going to find taxes high all the way across New York State. It's New York State, unfortunately. And a lot of beginning investors don't take that into account, which ends up hurting them and sometimes even burying them. But from an investment strategy standpoint, you've got a couple different tiers. You've got your high cash flow tier that you're looking to bring in that monthly, and again, there's several other tiers, but that cash flow tier, where maybe appreciation isn't a thing, higher cash flow. You've got your mid-range where you're bringing in your mid-range cash flow monthly, a better chance for appreciation on the back end. And then you've got what you just described, your high interest rate, your high tax bracket. And a lot of my investors, at least, they want to put as little down as possible on those houses. They want them to pay for themselves over time. And if they take a loss, they're able to shield income that they are receiving from other places. So it's an entirely different strategy, but you better have a whole lot of cash reserves if you're looking for option 3, because, you've got to be ready for what's coming. And the taxes and the interest rates, it doesn't look like they're going to go down anytime soon.
Sure. Is there some areas to focus better than the others, would you suggest?
It's all going to boil down to the numbers. I mean, where are you investing? Are you investing in New York City? Are you investing in Rochester? Where are you investing?
I was looking into New York City, but then, because my strategy is buy and hold, and then, have, profit from the difference on the, the rents versus interest rate. But, so far in Manhattan, New York, city doesn't make any sense. So my question is there some better areas to focus in because of taxes are so high here?
Mm-hmm. You mean better areas within New York State or better areas in the country or outside?
Country, states, anywhere.
I mean, for me, I know New York City's tough. Average cap rate is 2 to 3% if you're lucky, which is to us just mind-boggling. We do have there's other areas you can invest in. Rochester's constantly one of the top 10 cities in the country to invest in because you get a higher rate of return. And for me, I'm not speaking for everybody else, yes, our taxes are high. It's ridiculous. Our tax bill, it's a whole other story. For me personally, I'll focus on buying a property where I know I'm getting it at an extremely low price, or at least it makes up for the taxes on the back end. Does it always work out that way? No. But obviously New York City, you're going to have to get in get in with people who are actually on the inside, just like here. That's what I would suggest doing. And then obviously look at other areas. People make money in New York City. You can make money anywhere. It's just the numbers and finding that deal. Once you find that deal, instead of getting a 3 or 4 cap, if you can find an 8 cap, which I'm sure people do there, people make money in real estate everywhere. It's just, where are you looking and how are you looking? If you're looking on the MLS, you're competing against everybody else,
Sure, we'll start looking.
you know. I
Thank
mean, I don't know if anyone else wants to add on to that.
Well, there are deals on the MLS. You just have to be very careful. And you have to be looking constantly and have a realtor that you're going to be working with that knows what your criteria is. As Joe is indicating, a lot of the things that that happen from the standpoint of real estate investing are deals that are done amongst real estate investors where folks know what the criteria is and know what a real deal is from the perspective of that person. So Joe comes up with deals and deals every day because of the fact that he has big yellow signs all across the city saying 1855 Joe buys.
Just
And billboards. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems to me I left the last general meeting and saw a nice sign from Joe.
I'm following you, Joe. I follow the money.
Yeah, right.
Yes,
I'm driving down
behind
Ridge
your
Road
house.
and I look up
Yes.
and I'm going, wait a second, Joe.
Yeah, if he likes that spot, I can remember several years ago when they had the big yellow sign by the railroad tracks.
So
That's why
Renata,
you own the city, Joe.
yeah, I don't know about that. So Renata, you know, we have people like constantly come in from all over the world that invest here locally, such as yourself. And, you know, a lot of them, obviously compared to New York City, and I'm not telling you not to invest in New York City, at the same time, it's, they get a higher rate of return. And yes, the taxes are beyond disgusting and insane.
Right.
Just got to be able to make the numbers work. I'm sure when you came into New York City, you know, you're just mind boggled by all the numbers and the taxes and we get that all the time. And we live here and we still do it.
Sure. Okay. I get it. So we're just going to start looking for the deals in that case.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Thank
anyone
you.
want to add on to that for Renata at all?
Hey, Joe, if it's all right, I'll jump in just from limited experience, but experience I had, like when I started investing in real estate, I was out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I was able to get into a house hack, but to grow from there, I found it very challenging. I kept beating a head against the wall because I didn't really have connections out there, even though I lived there. It was a high barrier to entry and there was a lot happening under the table that I was just struggling to get in on. And it was discouraging when I started trying to invest in my backyard. And when I made the decision to move back to Rochester, it became more organic and I was just able to, there were connections that I was able to make both through this group and outside of this group. And so I guess the advice that I'd say is from my experience, like, you know, starting in New York City, like you might find it's very challenging and it's hard to get those connections, but maybe consider that, is there another market, whether it's Rochester in this group, it could be where it happens more organic. So definitely always a proponent to starting like right in your backyard and where you operate day to day, but just something to keep in the back of your mind if you find yourself getting discouraged.
Sure. That's great. Thank you.
One thing I have to say about New York City, I've looked at it and what I find, the actual real estate taxes are not that high. It's the cost of the real estate that's the problem and causing you to pay high taxes. If you have $1 million house and you're paying 0.8%, what are you paying, 80,000 or something like that for tax? That's why the taxes seem so high in New York. It's the price of the real estate. And personally, I'm looking at it, I really don't see, unless you can find the right deal, getting a decent kind of return from investing in New York, other than potential appreciation.
I mean, it is basically all in the numbers, as Joe indicated in the very beginning. And what you find is in New York City, if you buy a property that's $700,000, the taxes is like $1,600 a year. Okay, if you buy in our area, then you're buying in one of the 13 most tax counties in the United States. So the numbers sort of switch a little bit, you know. In New York City, you have so many people, and so when you sort of look at the concentration, that drives the tax number down from their perspective. But if you buy in Rochester, like I said, I mean, and you can look it up. It's, it's just straightforward. What are the 13 most taxed counties in the US? And a large majority of those are in New York City, and the rest are in California. I'm sorry, New York State, and the rest are in California. So, but the taxes are one of the things that I think a lot of people overlook when they look at investing in this particular area. And it really does skew the numbers once you sort of put that tax amount on top of what you thought was a great deal is maybe not quite as great as you might have thought from a numbers perspective. But it's just like any area, it doesn't really make by itself that big of a difference. It's just that it's another item that you have to take into consideration. And the taxes by itself, as I indicated before, it comes as a surprise when people really sort of get down to taking a closer look at the numbers.
Sure.
It's really more about, if you were going to ask me, and investing in this particular area, it's really more about, are you buying a property in a or B area, or are you buying a property in a D area? Because that's where the real difference comes. And it's just the fundamentals of real estate from a number standpoint. If you are going to be buying and holding, and you're going to buy and you're going to end up renting a property in a D area where you don't get any rent, then life changes drastically versus buying something in a B area where you actually end up getting the rents coming in as you might expect. So it's all in the numbers, a lot of it.
Got it.
So, and not to interrupt you, but Renata, how long have you been looking in New York City now?
I mean, I'm very, maybe quick, because I've only just arrived 3 weeks ago. So, but I'd love to find something ASAP. Well,
did you have people, did you have boots on the ground already ready to go prior to you getting there?
No, so far I'm looking at the numbers and they just don't work, so that's
Yeah.
why my question is. So I think, maybe I need to focus on another area where, the taxes are not that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a couple people in New York, and they tend to, in the city, and they tend to invest in Rochester or other areas and not in the city itself.
Yep. Yep. We get a lot of people. I mean, Renata, my number's on. If you want to call and go over some stuff, I can refer you to some people. You're more than welcome to do that.
Sure, that'd be great.
Get on the side and go over some stuff with you. And yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
No problem. I know we had some people who had some questions they wanted to talk about. We want to make sure to get to everybody. So anyone have anything that they want to go over? Any questions? This is the time to do it.
Joe, I got a first question, please. I'd like to jump in because it's been killing me for the past 2 days. This has to do with cold calling and then trying to gain knowledge and experience. So what do you do? This happened to me a couple weeks ago. When I make like 20, 30 calls a day on or whatever, right? I make a call and they don't answer, and I don't leave a voicemail until the second call. But when they call me, I'm at Wegmans and they call me back. And I'm like freezing because I don't know. I do know who it is, but I don't have information in front of me. So it's like a lead call me back. If they leave a voicemail, great. I can call them back when I get home and call them back and get the information, try to follow up with the lead. But when they don't leave a voicemail, I mean, I'd like to answer, but should I not answer? Well, no, that's a stupid question. No, I should answer. But when I do answer, what should I say to them to engage them to kind of like jog my memory so I don't sound like an idiot when I don't have all the information in front of me, and try to capture and engage on that lead. you know, that's,
Who else has done cold calling here? I've done it too. I want to hear from other people.
okay.
So I don't cold call for real estate, but I am the president of my HOA. And so I call people all the time, you know, because it's a fairly large complex. And so I do that where I'm trying to remember who they are. If you can, I don't know if you can save the number in your phone with just a little descriptor as their name. So just put what it like, if you can put some information so that when they call, you see something that would jog your memory that might work.
Okay.
It's great. Great information.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna
thing when
say.
yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
When I get calls after placing some calls, a little bit of humility and honesty, I think, is what goes a long way for me. I'll tell them, hey, I'm in the grocery store. You caught me at a bad time. But hey, I'm here to talk to you. You know, let me know what you got. And then at least it opens it up and it makes it more of a warm call. Because you know, again, the honesty, you know, people are attracted to that, especially today. And so that honesty is like, oh yeah, he's real. He's shopping with his kids. He's got a handful of groceries, but this is what it is. And then it just kind of opens that icebreaker, and then it's easy to call back when you have time.
That's a good point.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I
what
like
I-
Allison's and Eric's answers. That's pretty much spot on in terms of what I would say. There's also a note section if you have at least an iPhone. I'm not sure what type of phone you have, but typically in the contacts, there's a note section that you can kind of maybe take down some notes about that person. So when they do call back, you can refer to those notes as well. Because I know the character limit in the name could be, you know, limiting. So maybe using the note feature as well, in addition to some humility, as Eric said, because we're all human, and I've gotten return phone calls and I'm in the grocery store. So absolutely great answers.
Yeah, you guys all of you are 100% right. And Eric, I do the exact same thing. And they're kind of like, oh, because it makes you human. And the other thing too, opportunity never works around our schedule. Okay.
Well, you know,
I answer it and I tell them, listen, I'm real. I've been looking forward to talking with you. And just say, listen, and I apologize. I got to be honest with you. I'm at the grocery store and I'm not in front of my book. Okay. As a matter of fact, the thing in front of me right now is a shopping cart. At the same time, I wanted to make sure to answer your phone call. I wanted to be respectful and answer your call. And that shows that you value their time and you're human. Okay. And then sometimes too, what I'll do is if I can't talk to them, I'll say, listen, I want to be respectful. I want to be able to give you 100% of my attention versus only 50. Okay. And when I tell them that, they're like, so I say, listen, can I call you back in like 10 or 15 minutes or 20 minutes? So I can give you 100% of my focus attention. Okay. I've never heard anybody say, no, I want you to give me 50% of your attention. Okay. So I always say that and people appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, this is Marilyn. I'm gonna jump in here right quick while I can. This is Marilyn. I share my group. I don't have a portfolio as of yet, but I do have an opportunity, and that opportunity is I offered a home from one of my aunts for $50K. However, I shared with the group that my uncle was a jack of all trades, so he kind of did all the electricity and all that. So that's one of my concerns about a rehab. It will need cosmetic rehab. Obviously, electrical and all that. So my hesitation is finding out if this really is a great deal. It's in the 14608 area code in Rochester in the city. And I would like to do a buy and hold if I can, maybe get it up to code with DSS. What is the other, Section 8, maybe something like that. So I was just kind of looking for some advice, and, if somebody wouldn't mind kind of, taking a few calls from me to kind of figure out if this is a good opportunity or not.
Maryland, kind of give people a general idea where 14608 is. Like, doesn't that, I wouldn't read the exact address, just streets around there or whatever.
It's close to Genesee, Jefferson, it's Genesee and Jefferson, close to the Wilson Foundation Academy, which is on Genesee Street. So it's on that end towards Genesee, but it's called Katy Street.
Okay. Okay. So anybody have any advice for Marilyn?
Hey, Marilyn, you can give me a call. We can crunch the numbers together and walk through to see if it's a good deal for you. I'm open and receptive to working with you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will.
Marilyn, we actually know each other. I'll leave that for another call. But when it comes to those, everything you named is pretty much for a lot of the experienced investors on here. Everything you named is stuff that we look for because especially when it comes down to flips in the area. So my job is to find out what was hidden when they go and do those flips. And so not that it was hidden from you, but your job is to make sure that the money that you're putting in is not money that you have to put in to redo somebody else's fixes on the property. And so that's going to be one of your things. My suggestion would be if you've got a local contractor who is fairly, well versed with, different repairs, have him go through the house with you and take a look at things. And then you'll have a pretty almost instant gratification on what needs to be fixed. And it's easier because it's a family member. You can go in with eyes wide open so you're not overpaying because it's easy to overpay when stuff pops up like that. A roof and electrical or foundation problems can bury you.
Exactly. And hi, Eric. And I think I told you I would be here one day.
There you go.
But yeah, and those are my concerns. I've been sitting on this deal. My aunt is she's in her late 80s now, so she's really kind of trying to get rid of some things, and she's just holding it for me. And I've kind of been the holdup, but I'm really, she's ready. I'm ready to take advantage of this.
So Marilyn, quick question here. Go over a little bit of numbers here. She's asking how much for the property?
50, but she's asking 50, but that's kind of negotiable. If I bring her cash, she would probably do 45, 40 for me.
So is it a rental right now, or does she live there?
Nope, it's a rental. She has one paying tenant and one tenant that pays sometime.
Okay, is it a two-family or a single family?
It's a two-family.
Okay, all right, that makes a big
Up and
difference.
down.
Okay, so quick question here. A couple things here. So we go over numbers here. What is she supposed to be getting for rent, or what would she be getting for rent? What is she charging right now?
600.
Okay, so you're getting $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think how much work do you think it's going to need to get this place fixed up and CFO'd already?
Well, not really. No, the electrical part. Well, the basement is, like I said, it's built in 1920. So it's like one of these old school basements that you can barely get down in. And everything is, all that have to be redone to be up to code. Just from looking at it, like I said, my uncle kind of took care of everything, but these days you can't go, you can't survive on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I know that would be need to be done. The foundation seems to be pretty good. The roof is supposedly supposed to be 5-6 years old. Like I said, and then the cosmetic work on the outside, some window work. She has vinyl flooring, so to stay with that wouldn't be too bad.
Okay, so let's do this here. Okay, let's just say you get it for $45,000, right? And then let's just say you raise the rents. Let's just say you end up putting in $10,000 into this property. You're buying it for 45, and you're going to buy and hold this, right? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I would like to. I
Okay.
would like to. Yeah.
So we'll break it down into numbers. You're gonna buy for 45,000. Your closing costs will be, put you at 48,000. Okay. Let's just say you put 10 into it. You'll be into it for 58,000. Let's just make it an even 60 grand. Nobody's perfect, overages, whatever. Okay. And then, so let's just say you raise the rents, and they're 2 bedrooms each.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
2.5 baths.
Okay, so if they're 2 bedrooms each, let's just say, we'll keep the numbers even. Let's just say you're gonna be making $750 per month. That's $1,500, or $750 each per month. That's $1,500 a
Right.
month. It's $18,000 a year. Okay, so realistically, I'm gonna do this here right now. So because I'm trying to talk and figure this out all at the same time, and I'm not that talented. So if you're making $18,000 a year, what I like to figure out in those areas, I figure 50% just to cover your butt to management, vacancies, repairs, all kinds of stuff, you know. And even if you're into the property for a total of $60,000, I mean, not buying it at the 45,000, I like to figure all in, you're still making a 15% cap rate, which is a very good return over there, you know. And it's gonna, you know, so basically if you take the $9,000, you'll basically be if you buy all cash, you know, you'll make a pretty decent return on that. I know, you know, I've done a lot of properties in that area. I know a lot of people who buy and hold over there. Again, it's just going to depend on what you're looking for. If you're looking to retire off of that property, you know, you won't be able to retire. It'll help you. You know?
Right.
You know, are you looking for?
Yeah, that's just the first one as a stepping stone to get started.
Yeah, I mean, anyone have anything they want to add on to that for Maryland? I mean, as far as agree or disagree with the numbers?
No, the numbers are spot on. Rents might even for that area, just because I know what the minimums are, at least what we get in Rochester anymore. They're probably closer to 8, 9 over there technically. And you also have the ability to cash out refi on that after it's all said and done, which is obviously going to bring down your overall, monthly, but it'll help you take some of that money to turn it back in and roll it into something else.
Yeah, you're right, Eric. And for me, I never make my maximums my minimums. I make my minimums my maximums. So if it goes above and beyond that, fantastic. If you make your maximums your minimums, you have to be perfect. And I don't like doing that. So you're spot on. Anyone else? And on to that from Maryland?
No, I think the information you guys shared is great. And, you know,
yes,
Joe,
absolutely.
like you and I talk, you know, don't try to make a deal work, you know, and that's, you know, I think everybody, the information they shared, I think was great. So in Maryland, we hope it helped. That's for sure.
Thank you. It did. Thank you so much.
Great.
And the great thing too, which I love about this group, we all just get to connect. You know, we're here to help each other out. Hey, give me a call me, you know, which is fantastic. Because I know when we were talking, Marilyn, you were like very nervous and you've been waiting a long time for this, and you're like, okay, I got to do something or not.
Exactly. Yeah, the lump in the throat.
Take care of that.
You guys make it easy though. I appreciate you all. You make it easy.
We appreciate all of you.
I have a question about how to do rehab from afar. So my husband and I are looking, actually, we have a trip planned in the at the beginning of March to come out, and our goal is to make an offer on a property while we're there. And for this first property, we are going to try to purchase something that does not need much work done to it. But we probably will need some work done to it. And so I'm not sure how to handle that process from California, because we'll only be there for a week and then we're coming back. So
Anyone have any advice? I know we've all gone through it, and we go through that here, and we live here.
When are you coming to Rochester?
March 7th through the 12th. We'll be in the Syracuse and Rochester area that whole week.
Okay. I could tell you that in the premium areas, there's nothing out there. Very little right now. So maybe a month from now, if you're coming in mid-March, maybe you'll have better luck, but it's a pretty tight market right now.
So let me sort of chime in a little bit on this one. And I mean, basically what I would suggest and is that you actually before you arrive, make contact with individuals and sort of lay out a plan of what it is that you're going to be looking at, specific properties. You should have all that done before you get here. And you do that by touching base with, well, just start off by looking at the Freedom First website. And on the website, we have vendor members. Go to one of those vendor members, create a relationship with them, meet up with them when you get here, but they should have all the properties. They should, after talking to you, they should be able to tell you the properties, the areas, everything associated with what it is that you want to do should be largely done before you get here. So, I mean, I would start off with real estate agents. My wife is a real estate broker, and she's a vendor member of Freedom First. Colleen Bracci is a real estate broker.
Yeah, I'm working with Colleen.
Okay, so Colleen can give you most of the specifics that we just talked about, that I'm talking about right now. I mean, she would be able to tell you the areas that you should be looking at, and and that's driven by your own personal need from the standpoint of the property and what kind of shape it should be in, and the price that you really want to purchase it for.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, but that's where I would start. But when I mean, I've done properties in various parts of the US, and what I do is before I get there, I know which properties I'm going to look at. I know which areas I'm going to look in. And so you create that relationship before you get here, and that those individuals who are professionals at what it is that they're doing, they're able to basically help you by having most of the work done before you even get off the plane.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And Allison, there's actually people within this group who actually, we don't know when they're going to be on. They're always on. There's people on there who actually are contractors, and they'll put out there, hey, listen, so we're looking to do this, looking to do that. So definitely start calling some of the people within the group and get yourself connected. You're coming in March, you said?
Yeah, March 7th.
Yeah, so you're like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's getting close. We're actually, there's a possibility we might even put an offer in beforehand. I've been talking to Colleen about that. So
start reaching out like yesterday. So like you're already late. Start reaching out as soon as you get off the phone, or as soon as you get off the Zoom call.
Okay.
But you're in great hands with Colleen, though, and between her and all the connections and people within this group. And by the way, we all have problems finding contractors, and some of us live here. So just understand you'll go through some, but with some of the connections, we'll be able to, that we won't go through as much pain.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just to, follow up a little bit on what I was saying, I mean, and I definitely agree with what Joe just said. I mean, Colleen should be able to say, okay, here's the contractor you're gonna work with, here's the, and you should be being introduced to people that you're gonna be working with long-term. And maybe it's not long-term, but you want it to ultimately be long-term, but it starts off with the discussion and relationship building, and that's something that you try to do as much as you can before you actually get here.
Okay.
What area are you looking to buy in?
Primarily looking at 19th Ward, some of the, also looking at yeah, primarily there are some of the nicer areas that are a little bit further away from there. Also looking, my target market are travel nurses and graduate students.
Okay.
So initially I'll probably be kind of experimenting a little bit, like buy a duplex and have one side where I rent it more by the room, which takes, a lot more management on my part, but and then try the other side where I'm not necessarily specifically marketing to travel nurses and graduate students, but just renting the entire place just to try to, try a few things out. But ultimately, like the graduate student market is a market that I know pretty well because when I was single, all my roommates were graduate students. So I kind of understand they want furnished places. They don't really want to look for roommates. It's a very specialized kind of, or takes a lot of management. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do contracting. I have a contracting as well. So.
Shannon, you said you do contracting?
Yes.
Froze.
I froze. Am I there again?
You're good now. You're good now.
It's actually Anthony. My wife and I we own the company. She's on there. That's why it says Shannon. But it's actually Anthony. Joe, we talked yesterday.
Wait, what was that?
Joe, we talked yesterday. It's Anthony. We talked about buying some houses on the phone yesterday. Yeah. Yep. So I do contracting as well. So I can give you my number over to chat and you can give me a call and we can take a look at whatever you need. Depending on where we're at, we have one project we're working on right now that we should be done mid-March. So it may work out.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
And I'm glad, Anthony, glad to hear that you're off mute now. I knew that was you. I knew Shannon's name in there, but I'm like, oh, it says Shannon.
Yeah.
But now we're glad you're here. And I, for one, can vouch for Anthony and Shannon. I've seen the work they've done. They do outstanding work. And they always seem to come in on time and on budget too. So they do great work. I will vouch for that for them. But Anthony, I don't know if you had a chance to introduce yourself, but go ahead, because I believe this is one of your first calls. Go ahead and introduce yourself now that you can.
My name's Anthony. My wife and I, we own the construction and rental property business. I've worked with Scott. Scott and I have had some deals together. We're currently looking at purchasing and flipping. We hold some rentals, but for the most part right now, we're focusing on the construction end of it, only because the deals are so far and few between because the numbers have just gotten ridiculous. So we're really focusing on the construction end of it. But I'm always looking for a deal. So partner deals, working everything out. If we can make money, I'm in.
I have a question for the group. It's Catherine. Is there a realtor that you could refer me to that has, who's the best realtor for buying rental properties, investment properties in the Park Ave area and Village of Fairport? I see closings. You go through Rock Docs and you see, oh, this house sold for that much. Holy cow. Why didn't I know about it? Why wasn't it listed on the MLS? And I apparently there's, you know, networking that goes on behind the scenes and pocket deals, which I just learned what those are. There's specific properties that a realtor might hold on to for their favorite client. You know, how do I get onto that list to be one of the first people that a realtor calls when a property comes up on the market? I mean, I could be an all cash buyer. I'm a good buyer. How do I get those deals, and how do I find the best realtor to send those to me?
Well, Catherine, if you go on the FFREIA website, we have some fantastic real estate agents that are part of the group. We're very well versed with that. And also being within this group, and you'll be able to get in a lot of these pocket listings or stuff that's not even listed, because some of these agents that work here within this group, you know, we'll call people up. I've called up, you know, Mary Jane before. I've called up Colleen Bracci before. Said, hey, listen, I have this property. Oh, I got people for it. I got people for it. Never touched the MLS.
Yep.
Great.
I'm gonna say 40% of good deals and good properties never see the MLS. It's all networking, who you know, who you talk to, and your reputation. It's proof is in the pudding. Do you have the cash? Do you not? Do you have a reputation? Do you not? It's 100% who you know. Like most of the multifamily properties that my clients change hands on are all private deals, never make it to the open market. If they make it to the open market at this point, and it's a large multifamily property, something's wrong with it. Legitimately, you don't want to buy it. Everything is private.
How do I find out about those?
You just have to be in the know. You have to network. You have to put yourself out there. Let people know.
How do I put myself out there? I mean, I'm in a few groups. There's a couple of Facebook groups. What's that?
We're doing it right now.
But I've been in this group for 2 years. So
okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. Have you called anybody? Have you called any one of us?
I've spoken to you before
How
at one of
long
the
ago?
meetings.
How long ago?
2 years ago.
Oh,
2 years.
geez.
So
Yeah.
you've been with the group for 2 years, but you got to be active with the group. You can't
Okay.
just be with the group. And you asked a question, so we're just joking with you. But
I know.
It's really the networking.
Yeah.
And go to like Joe said, go to the website. 2 great vendor members, Mary Jane Griggs and Colleen Baracci, great realtors. Just getting out there, meeting with people, talking with people, telling them what you do. And that's what it is. It's Joe, last year, how much real estate do you think was transacted just within this group, this alternatives group?
Millions.
The market.
Millions,
you say? Yeah.
And I've got something.
Millions.
And I got something I'm going to prove to Catherine right here, right in front of everybody, in a good way. I'll let Scott finish.
I'm done, Joe. I wanted you to start talking again.
So no, I mean, Scott is right. And by the way, Catherine, if you had called me, like just, I know it's been 2 years, which is okay. We're just busting your chops.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm possibly thinking about putting up my portfolio for sale. Okay. And one of them is stuff in Park Ave area. Okay.
I did speak to you about one of them. Yeah, about a year ago, I talked to you about one of your properties in Park Ave area. I can't remember where it was, Harvard Street or somewhere close to there. Big Park Beat, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't like, for me to be able to sell it. It's a pretty decent sized portfolio. I don't have to put it on the MLS because of this group. I just picked up the phone and I already got a couple people interested. But whether it happens or not, I don't know. The point is that it's just staying in contact and connection. It's one thing to be part of the group, but you have to be able to really participate within the group to be able to get those calls. 2 years, we've all gotten a few phone calls between now and then, Catherine,
Catherine, I literally text Joe at least once a week to either see if he has something ready to go that he's looking to get rid of or assign, or B, to double check on a property that I think might be a good deal and check on the area. I literally text Joe at least once a week. It's the easiest way to start getting to know other people and get properties coming your way. I have 3 realtors that email me regularly like, hey, this just popped up on MLS or it's about to go up. You just got to do the networking.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, like
True
everything
story.
else in life. That's exactly what it is. And we say the same thing to our advertisers. Sorry, Leon. We say the same thing to our advertisers. It's great to have the pop-up slide at the beginning of the meeting. It's great to have your information up on our website so people can find it. But if you don't show up at meetings and you don't show up to network, you're going to get what you put into it back out. Everything in every networking group out there, you will only get what you put in back out. If you just put your name on a list, your name's on a list. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of my issues is that I'm only in these specific areas, and they're highly desirable areas. So I'm just a little guy. Who's going to call me about these areas? Scott, when you and I spoke, I know you have the few in Park Ave. You don't have as big of a presence in the Park Ave area. So I mean, we did have that discussion. How do I find the people that are in those areas? It's such a small, it's rarely available.
The outreach is on you. I'm going to cut Scott off. The outreach is on you, not on the person who has those offers come across their desk. You have to be the squeaky wheel. You have to stay in front of them, or you're never going to get that call. Even if you have all the cash in the world.
Who do you stay in front of? You got to find the ones that have the presence.
Yeah, let me just sort of hop in here, because I think it's I can give you a quick example. I was part of a mastermind back probably 10, 15 years ago. I don't even remember the name of the I remember their first names, but of the individuals who actually taught the class. But I do remember one of the key things that I got from that class. And if I was going to say to someone who was just getting started in real estate, I would give them this input, and I would have them understand it's one of the most important things. And that is, when I left the class, one of the key things that I learned was that, and the way that the instructor for the class, the way that he would have you understand the need for action is by saying action is the key thing. You must take action. Action will solve a number of illness associated with the property, with anything that's taking place. Massive action. And so if you are a real estate investor, massive action is one of the key things that you need to be focused on, regardless of whether you are doing things associated with storage units, whether you're doing notes, whether you're rehabbing. Massive action is one of the key elements. So, Catherine, my input to you would be and Joe Lababera, massive action. Okay, every morning he's up at 5:30. Every day he's going through his routine of all the things that he's going to do, and he's probably still up at 10 o'clock at night. Okay, and so there's massive action that's taking place. So, if you did something 2 years ago, then and you're coming back to it, there's probably some gaps in there. And so I would suggest that you have a routine that you go through each day, where you say, I'm going to do these things, and you actually go through that list of actions every day, looking at them from two perspectives. One, that you're covering things, but also are there any things that you need to change or modify? Okay, and just keep doing it over and over again, recognizing the fact that action is given what I've heard, is the piece that's missing. And I think that most of the folks on this call who are fairly successful have a plan that they follow each and every day that sort of keeps them in tune with, here's what you need to do. For example, you asked a couple of questions. So, and one of the answers would be, and I think Scott said it, or started to go through it. Go to the website, create a list, and each day follow up with those individuals around, okay, is there anything out there? Get input from them around suggestions as to how they could help you. And so, Joe, I'm going to sort of put you out on a limb here a bit, but Joe Lababera is well known for taking people and saying, okay, here's what I do every day. Here's my approach to things. And I think you will find that his plate is pretty action oriented. So that's my input. I mean,
Well, you mentioned take a massive action. Do you want to see what I've been doing? Do you see these envelopes? Oopsie. I've been sent. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, this is my
Awesome.
last 100. So I'm sending mailers, direct mail to every owner of every multiple in the Park Ave area and Fairport Village.
Great.
So that's my
Yep.
that's my massive action. I mean, I'm not sitting back and doing nothing. I mean, this has been pretty successful for me, but now I need to find a realtor who's going to send me the deals before they send them to anyone else. So I will take your advice and I'll check in with the realtors that are on the Freedom First site, and I will reach out to them and see if they can help.
And also call the people in this group.
And
Yes. Because you've got wholesalers on here who don't put things on the MLS when things come up, and they'll never put things on the MLS. They don't want a real estate agent involved if they can help it.
Well, wholesalers, here I am. Please call me. I'm a cash buyer.
No, first of all, you got to call. You got our numbers. You got to call. Be proactive, Catherine.
Yeah, because you're in competition.
Number.
You're in competition with a lot of people.
I know. See, that's my problem is everyone wants these areas, but I don't know if you guys are in my areas.
Oh,
they are. That's the thing.
We are.
Who wants some
Okay.
words, you or them? And Gabe, I want you to speak up right now. She's mailing out mailers. What else does she have to do?
Mailers? No, call like a son of a bitch. Sorry to say it like that. It's all the way. Just call. Call like there's no tomorrow, because you know what? Call is a moneymaker. I wish I had this screenshot. I sent to Scott. Where the hell is it? If I can show it to you guys. It says, it's something. Can you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this, maybe not the photo, but call me, I'm lonely. Or does it say, pick me up, I make you money. That's what it says. It's a phone call. It's a receiver. This is your money maker. It's your bread and butter. That's what it's all about. Just call. I don't care if it's all day or all minute or for a minute. Call. Period. End of story. That's what I do. And I know a lot of other people do that too. So yeah, just that's it. Mailers, I don't know about mailers, but I'm not going to get into that right now because everyone has their own opinion. But mailers is I don't have time to wait. You know, I have no patience. So just call. You know,
Gabe, you were funny. I'm still laughing. Call like a son of a bitch. That was
I knew he was gonna say it. So.
That is so funny.
There is a question in the box that we should get to before we close. Marilyn asked if there's any contractors to help assess a potential flip and hold, willing to pay for time. My advice on that, and I'll let somebody else chime in afterwards, but my advice on that is avoid contractors for that type of thing, because unless they're actually actively flipping, that's not who you want to bring to a job site to look at a property. You want to bring an experienced investor who's done the flips, who knows what things should be going for, because contractors are there to make money as contractors, not to help you make money. They're there to get paid for their time and labor. So they're not the body you bring to one of those jobs. You need to find somebody who's really experienced in doing it and who's doing it actively and is aware of the current market and what everything should be costing, not what somebody you bring along wants to charge you. So that's it. I'll shut up now.
That's perfect. That's exactly it. Oh, and by the way, I know everybody, we usually try to end around 10:30. And we want to be respectful to everybody. So if you have to, we'll be on for a few more minutes. If you have to drop off and get your day going, you're more than welcome to. And we'll answer a few more questions. But if you have to drop off, thank you so very much for joining us. We appreciate it. Get on the FFREIA website for our next one. I think we're doing a live and one on the internet at Da Vinci's in 2 weeks. Get on FFREIA.com and check it out. Okay, so Liz,
It's 2 weeks at night, Joe.
Yep. Yeah. So.
And I do want to say, Catherine, we weren't beating up on you. Just we want to see you succeed, and we're just trying to help you with that. So it's we hope you got a lot of good information from the question you asked.
Yep, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, good. Good.
Definitely call us. We'll be more than happy to help you out. That's what we're here for. Okay. And I'm glad to see you're doing more, which is great.
And I'll hang out for a bit myself. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions or any announcements they want to make or anything. So
I have a quick question. Title companies. What can I expect? Is there a title company that works primarily with investors, like for quick closes and that sort of thing?
say that again. I'm sorry. I froze.
So I'm looking to maybe, I'm going to be working with some local title companies, and I'm looking to see if you guys know who's best to work with. Are there any title companies that work primarily with, investors who can kind of like help with quick close type situations?
As far as I know, you have to use an attorney in New York State. So I think it's really dependent on the attorney, right? Or am I wrong, guys?
You're correct. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, in a lot of the states, particularly the non-judicial states, closings are done by title companies. I've closed a number of properties in Texas, and you don't even talk to an attorney. You just go to the title company and you tell them what it is that you need to do. And I've done many of closings from sitting right here at my kitchen table, but that's not something that is easily done in New York State. And typically everything is done by using an attorney. So again, I mean, we're saying go to the website, but on the website, there's an attorney that most of the people on this call uses to do their closing, and that's Steve Peterson. And he works with a lot of investors. So that would be the approach that would more than anyone that I can come up with right now that would sort of mimic, for sake of better words, operating with a title company. Plus, he does own a title company too.
Okay.
Steve Peterson.
Okay.
So yeah, just go to the website and take a look at it there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything they want to go over or talk about?
One thing, Joe, I wanted to add. Don't sell the whole portfolio at once. Spread it out to all of us.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, please. Because now you know I'm gonna text you 2 or 3 times a week.
Share the wealth, Joe.
Share the wealth.
Share the wealth. That's what's so great about this group. I love seeing people connect. It's the most valuable thing about this group. So.
Hey, Steve, do you and your wife have an LLC, or are you you guys just work together and do different things? Oh, can he not hear me?
We can hear you.
Who's Steve?
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to screw up this last name so bad. Attavianti? Nope, there's not.
That was Anthony.
Oh, it's Anthony.
Oh my
He's
God.
listed as Shannon. That's his wife's
That's my
ID.
wife, Shannon.
I don't know why I thought Steve. My bad.
That's okay.
Anthony.
We do have an LLC. East Coast Construction LLC is the construction company, and SRO Properties is our real estate property company.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anyone else? Everybody's all good? Anyone have anything need to add? Scott, need to add anything? Or I know it's about 11:15 or almost.
Can we add to the agenda for the next meeting to talk about these people buying properties at crazy prices?
Yes, there's so much stuff I wanted to go over as far as what's been going on with that and other things. It's been really crazy. And I know as long as we can get to it next 2 weeks, which would be the evening meeting, we'll go over that, especially what's been going on with the rentals, not in regards to talking about the eviction law, what it's been doing and how the market's just been, I mean, we've been getting a lot of people wanting to sell, we've been buying, and also touch upon your people buying all these crazy prices. Those are great questions, Lisa. And by the way, this is Lisa's first week of being retired and full-time real estate.
Oh,
So
awesome.
excited.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So exciting.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
I've been dying to ask this question because I'm trying to figure it out. And it might sound a little rude. It used to be a very scary question, not scary anymore. But did any of you guys get COVID-19 way back in 2020 in March after either the Da Vinci's meeting at that time or the restaurant on the Bay in Webster? Did any of you had COVID back in March of 2020?
Nope.
No.
Okay, I did.
Negative.
All right, I've been trying to figure out where I got it, and then I heard a bunch of real estate people had it at the same time, since we were the first ones in Rochester to have it. And I also attended some other real estate meetings at that time, so I may have gotten it from them or from those meetings, because a bunch of realtors had it at the same time as I did. So just trying to figure out if that was the place.
Yeah, I'm not aware of anyone in Freedom First.
Yeah, we never got a call.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Because it's obvious, Catherine, you've just been hanging out with the wrong folks.
No, I'm glad that I had it that early on, because then I didn't have to worry about it after that.
My objective is not to get it at all, but yeah, but I'm not aware of anyone who within our organization who've had it.
Yeah, we've been super lucky. We haven't gotten anybody who's sent an email or called. We've had a lot of people ask, but nobody's had any reports of anything. So, but again, I think March may have been our very last meeting in person in 2020. It might have actually been February. I don't know if we had any in-person meetings in March because the lockdowns had already started.
Oh yeah, it was February. Yep.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have anybody at that point.
Yeah.
So not that we would have asked probably, but nope. I had it over Thanksgiving. It was great. I couldn't taste my dinner. Delta, delicious.
Lisa, are you still here by chance? I don't know if she had to jump or not.
I'm here. Sorry. I had a phone call come through and I wanted to make sure I caught it.
Well, I know we're coming up on time, but there's something I've been racking my head. Basically, I'm in a similar situation where I'm getting close to exiting my W-2. And I was just curious, either from you being your first week into it or other people who have exited corporate life to do this full time, how has structure been from you going from having that like structure during the day to now being on your own? I know we're coming up on time, but are there any, I guess, points or learnings that you've had as you're diving into this full time?
So my last W-2 was teaching. So I'm a super type A organized kind of person anyway. And my husband is very analytical. He's actually the reason I was able to leave my W-2 job. So I'm super thankful for him to help us in the long run. But I literally have like a sheet that I get filled out every day. At the top of it, it literally says, plan the work and work the plan. Like you just every day. And I just had to commit myself to saying, okay, this is what time we're getting up. We get my kiddo out the door. And I sit down and I start my work and random things pop up. So I've just been kind of learning how to like adjust with that. If like a phone call comes in, it's like not my normal time to be dealing with that. Or if an email pops up that I really want to answer immediately. But yeah, it's literally just sitting down and planning out exactly what your day looks like. I got myself an appointment book, like the hairdressers and nail salon artists people have. So it's like every 15 minutes or something. So that way I'm super easy able to look at my calendar for the week and be like, okay, this is what time I have available to do whatever. And it's just been all about getting set up and organized ahead of time. So yeah, I was lucky to have a couple random days off. In my last month of work, I took all my sick days. So I did like trial and error days, like once a week here and there. So that works out really well too.
For sure. But if I set like some of the key pieces, it sounds like in there is you have your plan of like, hey, this is what I need to tackle this week. And I'm sure for whatever goals you're working towards, you work it back from there. And then you have your plan, but essentially roll with the punches as things come up and adjust as needed.
Correct. Yeah, just kind of prioritize like what actually has to get done today. Like earlier in this week, I really had to get my funding good to go, which was super helpful because then I put an offer on a property on Tuesday. So Monday, getting that set up, ready to go, you got to kind of figure out what needs to be done first and work your priorities and then go from there.
For sure. Cool. I appreciate it.
No problem.
We should have more networking meetings during the day where everybody shows up with their laptop and just hang out and get your work done. Because it's kind of, it's lonely doing this, in a house where the kids are in school and no one's around and, you don't go into an office anymore.
Well, just stay connected with everybody. Remember, we are starting to have in-person meetings too. So like next week, it'll be at Da Vinci's. And, but yeah.
That's so far. Is there anything on the east side?
Well, how far will you drive to make $1 million?
Oh, wow. Good
I
one.
will drive
to
across
make that,
the
okay?
country.
People drive a half hour to make $50,000 a year.
Okay, you got me.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's this way,
It's so
Catherine.
weird. It's so weird because I hear a lot of people in Rochester make that comment. And then, of course, most people who know me know I was born and raised in Texas, in Houston. Okay, so I've done deals and things in Houston. And one of the things that happens is if you pick the wrong time of day to go from one side of Texas to one side of Houston to the next, it's going to take you 2 hours. Literally, you'll be driving in your car for 2 hours. Okay, so there's no such thing in my mind as a place in the city or Monroe County that is far. It's just not. Okay, and the amount of time that it will take you to get from the north side of town to downtown is about the amount of time that would take you to get from here to Buffalo.
I agree, Leon. I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, and like the landmass of Jacksonville is ridiculously huge. Like if I fly down to see my parents, their house is a solid 45 minutes to an hour from the airport, and they're not even on the outskirts. Like they're in the middle of Jacksonville. That sucker is like an hour and a half wide. So yeah, and we actually get a babysitter every Thursday too. Like I don't even care. I'm like, I'm gonna give this chick some money. She's gonna earn some stuff. I'm gonna work on earning my money. Like this is what we do. To get where you want to go, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Well, all right, everybody. It's almost 5 minutes to 11. So I think we're pretty much set for the day, and we appreciate everybody being on here. I don't know if Scott has any parting words.
Nope, go make some money. That's what you usually say, Joe.
Go do real estate.
Go do real estate. Thanks,
Same
everybody.
difference.
Great meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great
Thank
rest of
you.
your day. Have a safe weekend. The weather's going to be crap this afternoon. I just found out my kids' after school care got canceled. So I'll be hopping in the car at 3 o'clock to go get them. Times. Anyway.
Stay
all right.
safe.
See you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah.